Hi guys, it's your girl, online business strategist T. Davis Cole. And so today I want to help you start your blog. All right, so a lot of times you can, maybe Google how to start a blog, or perhaps you've been seeing a lot of information about how you can earn money blogging and different things of that nature. And maybe you read the post or you watch the video, but you feel like, I don't think I can do that, right? It seems too complicated, overwhelming, and I don't think I can do it. All right, so what I want to do is really engage you in this 3-part blogging series where I'm going to literally show you that you can, right? You can start a blog and it's not as complicated as it sounds, but there's a few key things that I want to make sure that you kick it off in the right way, right? There's a few key things that you need to do, and that way, you'll be able to kick it off without having to go back and backtrack yourself and say, well, I wish I would have known that when I first started and all of this, right? Also, again, if you've just been thinking about starting a blog and you feel it's too complicated, I want to make sure that you know that you can do it. Your girl got you. I'm going to help you start your blog, all right? So one of the things you need to know about this video, okay, is that it's not going to be perfect. I want you to know that you don't have to be perfect. And in reality, a lot of times, especially today, people are more about reality TV. They are, enthused to see you make a mistake. So if I stumble over my words or if I misspell something, because guys, I'm going to be using my handy dandy whiteboard today. Okay, so therefore I won't have spell check. At least I don't think it has spell check. So you'll discover that I'm not the best speller, right? But I think you'll understand what I'm talking about. If we make mistakes, we'll just roll with it. But I want to show you that, you can do it, right? I don't have any type of superhuman powers or anything of that nature. I just, continue to try and really fail forward, right? Just continue to work and figure what works and what doesn't work. So the goal here today is to help you collapse some major time frames, to help you see that you can do it and that it's really not all that complicated. All right, so some of the things that we're going to be talking about today, the first thing is just going to cover, of course, that the goal is to keep you believing that you can build a blog, and also to show you how to do it without getting stuck, right? I don't want you stuck in the creation phase and not being able to really, let your vision come forward. I don't want you stuck on trying to design your blog or worrying about all these little things. I'm going to show you how to do it. I want to talk to you about blog strategy. I want to make sure that you understand how to strategize your blog. Even though you're going to have a lot of fun, you may not be perfect, right? You may have quirky pictures or even a quirky design, but if you have a good strategy, it's going to help you be able to leverage your blog for profit, okay? As well as it can be a great center for you providing value to the marketplace, okay? So one of the things that I'm going to be talking about inside of that, I guess, the little bubble of blog strategy is, why do you want to start a blog? All right, why do you want to start a blog? And if you don't have a paper and pencil and you've been thinking about starting a blog, you wanted to start a blog for a while, you weren't quite sure how to get started, grab paper, right, a little pencil, and or pen or something of that nature, or maybe even if you have a notepad or your laptop nearby, or even your phone, you can take notes, okay? So I'm going to be talking to you about, why do you want to start a blog? Will you be committed to your blog? What will be your focus on the blog? What kind of content will you create on your blog? And what sort of outcome do you want from your blog, okay? I'm also going to talk to you about how would you build your list, how would you profit from your blog, and how will you engage your audience to keep them plugged in. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, and it's like, you said that you're going to help me build a blog and it wasn't going to be hard, and that sounds like a lot, but I'm going to help you break it down and show you how you can start a blog without getting overwhelmed with all the little details to actually make your blog, prosper, right? Make your blog profitable while engaging these aspects that will help you do it. Okay, so we're going to have a little fun. I'm going to pull up my whiteboard here. and let's get started. I am horrible with the little pen, and I write real big and it's real ugly. So I'm going to be cheating a little bit here, and I'm going to be typing in my information, which is kind of defeats the purpose of having a whiteboard, but it also shows you that you could do this with me. You could take these notes with me as I go along. So today the focus is blog strategy, right? And the goal is to help you build, see there, I told you guys, your blog without getting stuck in the process. Okay, so this is the first thing that we're going to focus on here. Actually, that's our overall focus, right? Again, we're just going to have fun. We're not going to go back and try to redo stuff, okay? So that is the focus, is to help you develop a blog strategy, help you build your blog without getting stuck in the process. So you can jot that down, type it, whatever. Use your cell phone. I mean, we are in the technological age, okay? And guys, if my board gets too full, I will have to delete, things. So that's why it's important that you take notes as we go. Okay, so the first thing you want to focus on is, why do I want to start a blog? All right, so I'm going to use my friend Laura. I know she won't mind. I'll use her as an example. All right, so she does hair. So kind of it may make you feel like, why would she start a blog, or how would she start a blog, right? Because if her shop is in a specific location, how can a blog help her grow her business if a blog is global and she's in one place, right? So why would she want to start a blog? All right, so I can give you a couple of ideas, but you have to come up with your own. All right, so maybe she wants to start a blog because she wants people to feel beautiful, right? So maybe there's something inside of her that would like to start a blog because of how it makes her feel, or how it makes someone else feel when their hair is done. So maybe she understands the psychology, you feel better if your hair is done, right? So maybe her goal on her blog will be able to show people ways that they could do their hair themselves, or they could pick the right hairdresser, or whatever the case may be. But she would have to find a target and a reason why that blog would be important to her. Okay, so the next thing would be to start a new note, right? Outside of that, let me see. I want to do something else. So let's stem off of this. So why would I want to start a blog? And then from that point, ask yourself this question: will I be committed to my blog? Thank God there is a spell check. Okay. All right, so you got to ask yourself, now that I have this passionate reason why I want to start a blog, I could even use myself as an example. I wanted to start a blog because I was sick and tired of having to search the internet back and forward for one answer to a specific question concerning building an online business. And I got so frustrated with all these different memberships that I had, all these different things that I had to do to try to find one answer. Sometimes I would spend a week searching for one thing. And so that kind of frustrated me, and I wanted to solve that problem. I wanted for other people, coming in, everyday people who wanted to start a blog, I wanted it to be easy and for them to be able to get started without having to have multiple memberships, and without having to, go all over the internet looking for one answer. So one of the things that was my passion, right? I wanted to help people. And there has been times, guys, in this process where I've gotten away from that, where I was just like, forget it, I'm just gonna make money, or I just like got kind of complicated in my content, so it was hard for me to really truly help people, because I could do this stuff with my eyes closed. So I was moving really fast and maybe just not giving the full picture as to how you could actually do it. So I had to think about how I felt when I first started and what my main purpose was in the first place, which led me to launch a free library, which led me to start breaking things down, which led me to just go back to that place where I first started. So that is the reason why you want to have a clear vision, because when you have a clear vision, when you get off, you know that you're off, and you'll go back to the original vision, or you will revamp your goals and kind of stick to a certain path. Okay, so once you know that, you have to decide if I'm going to be committed. And that means, if I start this blog, is it something that I love? Is it something that, I could write about or blog about or do audios about often, right? So let's just use Laura for an example. She wants people to feel beautiful. Now, will she be committed to finding the right content that's going to help them feel beautiful? And later, I'm going to show you how her blog can really help her business and help her earn money on the internet, right? Without her having to have everyone come to her business. I'm going to get there. So I know I mentioned it before. I'm going to get there. But I want you to understand the process, as you're thinking through before you get that domain name, before you launch that blog. I want you to think through the strategy. So you need to know what it's going to be about, and really ask yourself, am I going to be committed to creating content about that? All right. So now we're going to move on. The next thing I want to talk to you about is what will be your focus. Okay, so you need to ask yourself this question and write this down. What will be the focus of my blog? Right? So, just using Laura again, right? So let's just say, right, she wanted to make people feel beautiful. She decided, I'm going to do this. I'm going to show them how getting their hair done is going to help them feel beautiful. I'm going to give them all kinds of content. I'm going to share Pinterest, uh, you know, Pinterest pictures of different hairdos, and then I'm going to break down how the hairdo was done. I may embed a couple of YouTube videos and all kinds of things to make people realize that it's not that difficult to make your hair look great so that you can feel great. All right. And then stemming back to me, what would be the focus of my blog? Okay. So if I said that my blog was about helping people build online businesses or helping them start a blog without the frustration and overwhelmed feeling of getting started, then that would mean my content would have to center around that. Right? So a lot of times the content that I create is about mentality. I help people build their mentality so they can believe in themselves, to believe enough good things about themselves that they can really do this. I help them, how to, I show them how to get more traffic, how to start a blog, how to. So that is the focus on of my blog. I need to be focused on, helping people feel better about themselves and helping them discover how to do things where they may be stuck, right? If Laura's focus is to help people feel beautiful, then her goal would be to show people, different ways that maybe they can do their makeup, different ways that they can do their hair, different things that they can do to make themselves feel beautiful. Because in doing their hair, it's going to make them feel better about themselves and overall help them in their lives. Okay. So the next thing that I want to do is to help you focus on the kind of content that you will be creating on your blog. So ask yourself this question: what kind of content will I create on my blog? All right, so now that you know that what your goal is, whatever that is. If you want to make people feel beautiful, if you want to help people build a blog or build an online business without getting stuck in the process, you know that, hey, I'm going to be committed to this topic. It's something I love, something I could create a lot of content around, something I enjoy finding Pinterest, pictures and different things on. Okay. I know that what my focus is going to be. Because even though you have a large niche, right? If you're in the beauty industry, if you're in the online business building industry, coaching, whatever the case is, you need to find something within that niche. So if she's going to focus on hair, even though it falls under, the beauty, you know, name or whatever, then that will be her focus. But now what kind of content will I create on my blog? So let's just go back to Laura, who wants to make people feel beautiful because she wants to help them discover new ways they can do their hair, because she knows that's going to help them build their self-esteem, make them feel better about themselves. Some of the content that she can create is maybe maybe she'll talk about everyday looks that make you feel great. I don't know, something of that nature, right? So she could just come up with something. There's also different apps where you can put in like a topic like this and it'll help you create different ideas. We'll go over that a little bit later. But everyday looks that make you feel great. So maybe she can do 10 blog posts about that, just different kinds of hairdos. Who wears it. Maybe there's a celebrity that wears that hairdo that she can tie into the blog post, talk about that a little bit. Have a picture of the hairstyle, then map out how the hairstyle was actually done. All right, maybe she could let's talk about something like you know, let's see, gaining back your smile after dealing with hair lice. Right? So maybe there's somebody out there who has experienced having lice in their hair or something of that nature, and maybe she's going to talk about some different strategies that you can use to not only get rid of that kind of stuff. She could tie it in with other articles which would give her content some boost, right? She can talk about how to get rid of that and how not to like freak out later, constantly thinking that it's, once they're gone, they're gone. There's all kinds of things that she can do to help people feel better about themselves, help them overcome obstacles dealing with their hair, and also help them feel great about themselves through showing them ways to deal with their hair. All right, so now that she knows that is the kind of content that I'm going to create, ask yourself this question: what sort of outcome do you want from your content? So now I'm going to just grab another little thing here. All right, so what outcome do I want from my content? Now, when I first started my blog, one of my blogs, I think it was like an entrepreneurial survival blog or something like that. And I literally created like all kinds of free content to help people get through the tough periods of starting their blog or starting their online business. I think my motto was like to help you survive so you can thrive online. And it was something of that nature. All right. So when I did start, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what I was focused on. I was committed in all of this. And I knew the kind of content I wanted to create because I knew the struggles that I had. But I wasn't clear on, okay, now that you've created this content, what do you want from your blog? What outcome do you want? So a lot of people do not go this far when planning a blog. They come up with a good name. They think about, the kind of stuff they want on it. They think about, the kind of people they want to attract, but they don't think about what outcome do they want for their hard work, for what they've put into their blog. All right. So you can even have some of the ways that you can think of this is maybe you have income goals, right? How let's income goals. Okay, so how much money do you want to earn from your blog? All right, so if you have income goals, you may start thinking about, do I want this blog to earn me $10,000 a month? Do I want this blog to earn me $20,000 a month? What are your goals? Maybe you have some value goals, right? You want to let's see, you want to, I want to use the word clone, but I'm going to have to in this instance. You guys could probably think of a better word. You want to clone your own style. All right, so one of the things I learned from Think Traffic, I believe that was the blog, I can't think of the guy that owns it, his name. But he was talking about how, if you come up with a good idea or something of that nature, you want to give it a method or give it some type of, name. Like you may want to call it the Laura let's see, bun, right? The Laura bun. Maybe you've taken a regular type bun and the way it is done, and you've added a little twist to it, and you want to call it the Laura bun, right? So perhaps you'd want people to uh, wear your bun, right? So you want people to wear it. You want people sharing your idea, or different things of that nature. So you have income goals, but you also have brand goals, right? So that would be the word. You want to brand your own style. Brand. All right. So, and you can do this even if it's not hair or anything. I've done it in my business multiple times. Like I have this method called the DETR method, and it's where you literally discover something new. You execute what you've learned into your business. You train others how to do it, and you repeat that process. And that's how you can become an expert without being an expert. And then my mentor, I believe hers was something learn, implement, teach. So it was like she had these acronyms for it. Okay. So if she heard that somewhere in the marketplace, she knows that that is something that the market has gotten from her, right? That means she can measure how well her brand is doing, because if someone's writing an article and they write those different acronyms down for, a method, she knows that came from her. So you want to start thinking about that. Maybe you want to have 2 or 3 major things that you do. Like DETR is major, right? It is the basis from where I use it is the basis of how I use training methods, right? So I'm hoping that my students will grab a hold of the DETR method and start talking about it and start using it. And then I know when I log into YouTube and I hear somebody talking about the DETR method, I know that is my method. So let's just say, the Laura Bun, if somebody's on YouTube and they're saying, "Hi, my name is Christy. I want to do a quick tutorial on how to do the Laura Bun." It's typically a regular bun, but you're gonna just add a little twist and flip. Boom, you have a Laura bun. Laura knows that that is her information being shared and branded across the internet. All right, now it doesn't have to be called a Laura bun. It could be called any kind of bun that you've created a little extra and made your own and gave a name to, that's not on the market. So when you hear it again, you know it's your information. Okay, so that kind of stuff, right? So you have your income goals, you have branding goals. Then you got to start thinking about CTAs. Write this down. CTA. All right, call to actions. So what do you want your audience to do with your content? All right, so what do you want your audience to do with your content? So as you're thinking about what outcome you want, what call to action will you have? So we're starting to move now towards um income, right? Because when you create, let's say Laura created an article about buns and how to do regular buns, and then she's going to show you how to do the Laura bun, right? But after all of that, what do you want your audience to do? Do you want them to just come to your blog, read about your bun, but not buy anything? So what do you want them to do after that? Okay, do you want them to buy something? Do you want them to join your group? Do you want them to follow you on your fan page? What is it that you want them to do? So here's a thing that you should write down. Every piece of content should have a CTA, a call to action. So every piece of content that you create should have a call to action. All right. So you're not blogging for your health, you're blogging for your wealth, right? So you're creating value, and you understand that in exchange for that value, you want some type of payment or some type of resource, whether it's money, whether it's a follow, whether it's a like, or whatever, because there are a lot of people who are, not a whole lot, but there are quite a few people who are making it big on YouTube, right? They're getting a lot of followers, and from those followers, they're getting a lot of advertising dollars from their channel. So you have to decide. It goes back to here, your blog strategy. Why do you want to start a blog? Are you committed? What's the focus? And what do you want? What outcome do you want? Okay, so let's talk about that a little more. Do you want to build a mega YouTube channel and get ad dollars, right? Do you want to sell a personal product where people can learn more about the subject? All right. Do you want to promote affiliate products? Okay, so some way you have to leverage this blog for profits. All right, so a lot of times people think, well, if I want to have a product, I have to create my own product. And we're going to go into that in another video. You do not. I'm going to show you how. So you want to stick with me through the series. Okay, so part one, we're just kind of, strategizing. Okay, so affiliate offers is like when you promote other people, other offers from other people, right? Whether it's Amazon, Commission Junction, ClickBank, all these different places where you can pull products related to your subject and sell them and earn commission for every sale. So that is why you want to have strong content so that you can get, traffic and targeted leads to your blog, people who are interested in the niche topic that you're talking about, so that you can do what? Get some type of outcome for whether you're building that YouTube channel, whether you're trying to sell your own personal product, or whether you're trying to promote affiliate products. Okay. All right. So then you got to make a decision. And trust me, I'm going to break some of this down in the next video. This is just blog strategy. Okay. Let's talk about how will you build your list. Okay. So now you have this strategy, you're committed, you have outcome goals, you're focused, all of this stuff. But now let's just say I come to Laura's blog, I learn how to do a Laura bun. I'm excited, but there's nothing for me to do, right? You have your call to action, but you really don't have a compelling offer, right? So how will you build your list? So what you want to do, right, is have a strategy for list building. And that means you're going to capture the traffic that's coming to your blog about a specific topic so that you can build a relationship with them later through email marketing. All right. So we're going to get into that a little later. And some of this stuff, guys, is just in the course that you have to get. But I'm just trying to help you think this thing through before you actually start your blog. Or if you already have started a blog, you might need to go back and revamp some things and get very clear, very focused, very targeted as to what you want from your blog and what you want people to do on your blog. All of this needs to be mapped out, right? So that you can get a very specific and targeted result. All right, so how will you build your list? And a lot of times you build your list through free offers. You can give mind maps, audios, free, let's say a tutorial. I told you guys, I use spell check a lot. All right, free tutorials or whatever, okay? And you don't have to actually make this content. I'll talk about that more in the next video, and I'll show you how it's set up. All right, but you got to start thinking, what are you going to offer for free on your blog? So someone comes there, they see the content, they're excited about the content, they like you. Now you're saying on your blog, let me go to mine and I'll show you. You're going to offer them something free. You see here where I have get a free biz profits guide. All right. So someone comes here, they like my information, they like my blog. Yes, I'm selling things and different things of that nature. But when they click here, right, they can get all this in stuff they can get. I even have a picture of what they're going to get when they sign up. All right, so here's all the things that they'll get when they sign up. So that's exciting, right? So that way they will put their email address inside of my free offer so that I can later continue to build a relationship with them and then offer them things that they can buy that's related to my blog topic. So that is the outcome that I want. My outcome is that I want people to be inspired. I want them to see that they can do this. I want them to learn and add value to their lives and give them things that they can put into action right now and get results. But I also want them to know that if they want more information, right, they can join my mailers list, get more free information to help them build, all right, the type of, thing that they're trying to build related to my topic. But then I also want them to know later that, there are things that they can buy that will help them continue to grow in this area. Okay. So that is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about a call to action. So at the end of your content, you want your audience to do one thing. Do not give people multiple things to do. Because if you give them too many things to do, if you give them too many options, they're going to choose nothing. So either you want them to like your fan page, either you want them to sign up for your free offer so that you can have their email address and communicate with them later, or you want to promote some type of affiliate product. Okay, so think about that. All right, so the next thing in your blog strategy that you should consider is how will you profit, right? So how will you profit? This should be, hold on. This should be a note, a little block. Well, it's okay. You guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so how will you profit from your blog? Okay, so write that down. How will I profit from my blog, right? Again, you want that great exchange. You're exchanging value. In return, you're expecting an exchange of either monetary value, or you're expecting to build your channel, or whatever the case is. So you're going to need to go back here as to what outcome do you want, and that is going to determine what your free offer is to get the email address, and that is going to determine what you are selling, right? So how will you profit from your blog? One of the things that you can do, guys, if you don't, that disappeared. Did y'all see that? That's funny. Let's write it again. How will I profit from my blog? Yee. All right, so one of the things that you can do, guys, if you don't have a product, is you can go to Amazon Associates. Amazon Associates. All right, so you can click on Amazon Associates and you can go to the Amazon Affiliate Program. All right, so once you're inside of the Amazon Affiliate Program, you can click on Join Now for free. It's absolutely free. You can create your Amazon account, and once you create your Amazon account, you can literally populate your blog with affiliate offers. So you could literally not have anything for sale other than just getting a free, getting their email addresses and, building relationships with them. But you can offer them products from Amazon and receive commission every time someone clicks and buys a product from your affiliate link. All right, so that could be an option. So let's go back to Laura, who is a hairstylist, right? And you were probably wondering, why would she start a blog if she's in a specific location? And of course, people can't come globally to her salon, right? But she can sell affiliate products, right? She can sell hair supplies. She can sell various shampoos, vitamins, different things to grow the hair. She can sell beauty products because that fits into the same category. As long as you're talking about hair and you say, well, now that you have the Laura bun, let's make your eyes pop, right? So now we're selling makeup and different items of that nature. All right, so that is how, that is what you want to start to think about when you're thinking about profiting from your blog. Okay. Then you want to think about how will you engage your audience and keep them plugged in. This is a big one, guys. All right, because let's say I go and I visit a blog. But, maybe I found the article because I was searching for something in the search engines. Let me go back and I'm going to show you how that works, okay? All right, so I am an online business strategist and I help people build online businesses. So let's just say I type in how to build an online business. Okay, I'm going to show you how it works. When you actually have a blog out there, let's see. Oh, give me 1 second. Let's see. Earn money on. I'm gonna see if I can find an article. Okay, so let's just say somebody talks about earning, they want to learn how to earn money online. All right, so here's a good one. 7 realistic ways to make money online. So you click on this link and voila, right? You're inside of a blog. And that's how people find you on the web. And that's exactly why I focus on, you know, um, building online businesses and different things like that through article writing, because I understand that this is how it's found right on the web. All right, so let's say you wanted to know more about that. You click on this article. Inside of this article, you find all kinds of ways, right, to earn money online. But let me tell you something. All these highlighted links are probably affiliate offers. All right, this person probably has affiliate links to everything that is highlighted. And then do you see the sponsored ads, different things like that? Um, let's see here. Uh, this is an ad, shop now. So you can literally have banners, you can have Amazon offers and different things like that inside of your post, which is how people can actually click and buy and you can earn a commission. All right, so that's how that works. So start thinking about um, how are you going to engage your audience, because now you have them, they have discovered different things about you, they like you, but what will make them come back? So what will make your audience come back? Now, I have one of these clever ideas here, and that is the free library. Back to this spot, right? They can come back and they can find more content to help them build an online business or help them build an online blog or whatever. All right, so here's a lot of the things that they can get for free, right? They can get these items here. These you have to sign up or subscribe to read or access. These are the courses they can buy. But check this out, guys. At the bottom, here are various audios, right? Ebooks, and different things of that nature that they can access, okay? So this will keep them coming back because they're thinking, wow, there's an awesome library over there and I can get different information on building my mentality for, building my business. I can get information on actual, traffic strategies and different things to build my business. I can get information on sales psychology and other things of that nature. All right. So that is a way to keep your audience coming back. So let's go back to our whiteboard. And let's just go back to Laura, okay, who is now she's focused and committed. She knows the outcome that she wants, right? She wants people to sign up for her mailers list. She knows how she's going to profit because she's going to use Amazon because she's a busy hairdresser. She doesn't have time to create products and different things of that nature. So she's going to use her Amazon account, right, to populate her blog with offers that people can buy and earn her a commission. The way she's going to get her audience to come back is maybe by embedding a YouTube channel into her blog where she's doing hair tutorials, right? Not necessarily dealing with chemicals or anything because she doesn't want a lawsuit, but showing people how to do braids and buns and different things, and even showing them different techniques to get rid of lice and other things that she's experienced being a hairdresser, that she's experienced with clients, right? So, and maybe she'll even incorporate some makeup tips and different things of that nature, but that will keep people coming back to her blog because they have that communication center with her where they can get access to more content for free about the topic at hand. But the content is surrounded by maybe the affiliate offers, not too many, but a few affiliate offers that she's selling that can earn her a commission. All right, guys. So those are the things that you want to think about. You don't want to just jump out there, start a blog, start putting pictures of yourself and all this stuff on it, and you don't have a strategy. You want to make sure that you know why you want to start your blog, what are you passionate about, so that you can be committed to your blog and create the kind of content that's going to help people get results, that you're going to add value to people's lives. You need to know what the focus of your blog is and the kind of content that you're going to create to keep them coming back. You need to understand the outcome that you want from your content so that you can lead your audience to a CTA, a call to action, right? Whether it's going to be to build your YouTube channel, sell a personal product, or promote affiliate or network marketing sales. All right. You also have to have a something in your blog that collects the traffic through having them sign up for a free offer, right? Whether it's a mind map, audio, free tutorials, or whatever. And then you need to know how you're going to profit, right? What is your profit strategy? And provide a communication center where your audience can come there daily, right, and get value on their own, time, right, and stay connected and plugged into your blog so you can continue to provide them with value and profit from your blog. All right, guys, so this has been your girl, online business strategist T. Davis Cole. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this helped